John Carter stepped from the small shuttle into the cool air of the neutral station. He felt his heart beat fast. He had never been far from Earth before. Now he saw tall walls of glass and metal reaching to the station's ceiling. Alien voices echoed down the halls. Some sounded strange and musical. Others were low and rumbling. He took a steady breath. Lisa Miller followed close behind him. She wore a plain blue suit that marked her as a diplomat. Her eyes were alert. She held a thin folder in her hands. It contained Earth's appeal to the Council of Elites. She remembered the long nights Earth had spent preparing this plea. Now the moment of truth had come. Across the wide-open space, John and Lisa saw the council chamber. 6 large seats rose above a wide table. Behind those seats, panels of glowing symbols marked the homeworlds of each member. In the center, a tall figure in white robes stood waiting. The figure was a Senna. From the world of Korchu, the Senna motioned them forward. John stepped up first. He bowed his head slightly in respect. Lisa followed and placed her folder on the table. She held one corner so it would not slide away on the polished metal. "We come in peace," John said. His voice echoed in the silent chamber. "We ask you to lift the sentence of exile against Earth. We wish to join the galactic community as equals," the Senna in white robes spoke. Her voice was smooth and careful. She addressed the other 5 members without looking at John and Lisa. "The delegation from Earth presents its case now. We will hear their plea and then vote." Lisa opened the folder and drew out a single sheet of paper. The paper was printed in many languages. She had asked for translation services so the Senna could read it in Korchu tongue. She handed it over. "Earth regrets its mistakes," she read aloud from the folder. "We faced wars and many challenges. We failed to agree on peace. We let harm spread across our planet. For that, we accept the Council's decision. We do not ask for mercy. We ask for a chance to learn from others. We wish to bring new knowledge to the galaxy and to share in peaceful trade." One of the council members leaned forward. It was a tall reptilian creature with bright green scales. Its sharp claws tapped on the table. The creature hissed. "Why should we trust a world that could not even keep its own people safe? You nearly destroyed yourselves with weapons you barely understood." John held his ground. He said, "We know our history is stained. But that past is not our future. Earth now stands united. We reached out to many worlds for knowledge and friendship. We built new homes on Mars and Titan. We learned to live without war. We built ships powered by clean energy. We can offer you our new ideas and our willingness to help." Another member spoke. This one was small and furred. Its large eyes blinked. Slowly, "Ideas do not build trust," it said. "But actions might. Show us you can lift even a small moon into orbit without harming the ecosystem. Then we will speak again." Peter Diaz had joined John and Lisa at the chamber door. He was an engineer who studied alien engines. He stepped forward. He said, "We can demonstrate. Our ship's drive can move a small moon fragment safely. We only need Council permission to perform the test in orbit around the station." The Senna in white robes considered Peter's words. She spoke quietly to a panel of symbols. Lights blinked. After a pause, she nodded. "The Council agrees to one test. If Earth can show us true mastery of safe power, we will consider your plea. If not, exile remains permanent." John let out a breath. Lisa closed her folder. Peter bowed his head. The council members stood and left. Alien guards led John, Lisa, and Peter back to their shuttle. Dot in the shuttle. The 3 humans sat close together. Behind them, stars shone through the window. Far below, the blue curves of Earth peeked out from behind the planet's shadow. John said quietly, "We have a chance. Now we must not fail." Lisa touched his arm. "We will not fail. We have the team on Earth ready to support us. Maria Diaz on the reactor. Ben Russell on the shuttle controls. Helen Carter on diplomatic backup. They will do their part." Peter tapped his fingers on the metal floor. "The reactor is stable. I ran tests all night. The design is sound. We just need to integrate it with the ship's drive. Once that is done, we can show off our power without breaking anything." John stared out at the station lights. "Good, let's get to work." He looked back at Lisa and Peter. We must plan our test carefully. We need to show precise control. Number. Mistakes. They spent the next hour reviewing data on a small screen. Each of them spoke in turns. Lisa made notes. Peter pointed out engineering issues. John asked about diplomatic risks. When the shuttle crossed into orbit, the station came into view. Its shape was a long cylinder with many docking ports. Lights ran along its surface like strings of pearls. Small ships floated in the empty space around it like busy bees. Maria Diaz stood at the lab on Earth. She watched a holofeed of the shuttle from a screen on her desk. Her hair was tied back in a tight bun. She wore a white coat. Machines hummed around her. She was in charge of the reactor core. It was a sphere of glowing blue energy held inside a glass chamber. Ancient earth metals and new alloys formed its CSING. Tubes and wires fed energy back into the ship's systems. She watched the energy reading jump and fall as she adjusted the magnetic fields. Ben Russell sat in the flight deck of the shuttle. He focused on the controls. Green lights blinked on the panel. He whispered to the autopilot, "Align thrusters for test point north 3 degrees. Then hold." On Earth, Helen Carter spoke to the press. She gave a calm briefing. She said, "Earth believes in peaceful progress. We ask for calm from all sides. We will demonstrate our intent with skill and care. We ask the Council to observe our dedication to peace." Behind Helen, the image of Earth glowed on a screen. It showed green lands and blue seas. The Earth Council emblem sat above the image, a ring of stars around a rising sun dot, back on the shuttle in orbit. John spoke. "Contact Maria. Status on the reactor?" An image flickered and Maria's face appeared on the screen. Her eyes were bright. She said, "Reactor core is at 70% output. I am increasing to 90. Magnetic stabilizers are holding. We are ready to send power feed to the drive." Peter adjusted a lever, engaging power transfer. "Everyone stand by." The shuttle shook slightly. A low hum rose from the engines. Outside the window, a bright beam of blue light shot toward a small, rocky fragment trapped in the station's orbit line. The rock glowed and began to drift. Slowly at first, then faster. The shuttle's thrusters fired to guide it. The rock moved in a smooth curve around the station. Inside the shuttle, the team held their breath. Lisa checked the energy readout. John watched the rock's path on a screen. Peter monitored stability gauges. The fragment reached the test marker. The rock settled into orbit quietly. "Lights on the station signaled success," John said. "They saw it." "We did it," Lisa smiled. Peter exhaled. The station's docking. Doors opened. The Council sent a message. A meeting would be held in 1 hour for final discussion. Lisa looked at John. "They will meet soon," she said. "We have a real chance now." John nodded. "We will prove Earth belongs in the galaxy, one step at a time." Outside, the stars shone on a new hope for Earth, and inside the shuttle, 3 humans prepared for the Council's final verdict. Back on Earth, the Council chamber on the surface felt different. Sunlight streamed through the glass dome overhead. John Carter, Maria Diaz, Peter Diaz, and Helen Carter assembled before the new Earth Council. This council was made of leaders from many nations. It included engineers, soldiers, farmers, and scholars. They met in the Great Hall of the restored capital. The walls showed images of Earth's past and hopes for the galaxy. David Owens sat at the head of the table. He was a retired general. His face was kind but firm. He had served in Earth's last wars. Now he led this new council. He spoke in a clear voice. "We have one mission. We must support John and his team on the station. If they succeed, Earth gains a place among the stars. Failure means exile forever. We cannot let that happen." Maria sat next to David. She rested her hand on a small case of reactor parts. She said, "The reactor core is stable. I have spare components ready. If any part fails, we can send a resupply shuttle. But that takes time. I hope it will not be needed." Peter leaned forward. He adjusted a holoscreen showing schematics. "The energy transfer went well. We only need to refine the beam focusing." The test went smoothly, but the station will watch our next steps closely. We must show reliability over duration. A long power test would help. Helen spoke softly. She was an experienced diplomat. We need to speak with our allies on Titan and Mars. They have resources and new labs. If we invite their help, Earth will look united. Unity is our strength. But we must also guard our secrets. Not every world can be trusted. John studied the map of supply lines. We have freighters ready. I will lead a small convoy to the station. We will bring parts, food, and our best diplomats. Lisa Miller should join me. She has proven herself in the chamber. Her calm words help us more than any weapon. Maria stood. She picked up the reactor core case. She said, I will join the convoy. If power fails, I must be there. David nodded. Good. Then I will send you with the convoy under military escort. We will guard the shipments. Peter will stay to finish designs here on Earth, then follow on a second ship. Peter sighed, but he agreed. I trust Maria's skill. She can handle any issues. I will be ready to join soon. In the hangar bay, the convoy prepared. 2 freighters and 1 escort vessel stood ready. Earth flags flew from each hull. The convoy glowed in the morning sun. Engineers checked engines. Soldiers loaded supplies. Diplomats read briefing papers. Lisa Miller arrived carrying her folder. She smiled at John and Maria. She said, I have updates on council sentiment. Some minor races favor Earth. The Laura fish people and the Tiri birds spoke for us. Others remain silent. The next test will sway many. John clapped her shoulder. Good news. We need their voices. They will help us when the elites vote again. Maria loaded the core parts into a secure crate. She said, I have modified the reactors to allow remote calibration. If power output fluctuates, I can adjust from here. The station has high-speed data links. We can control the core from aboard the escort vessel. A young pilot named Ben Russell suited up. He waved to Peter, who stood aside. Ben will fly the escort ship. He knows these routes well. Mars and Titan control lanes can be tricky. As the convoy prepared for launch, David Owens gave final orders. Stay close. Maintain ship discipline. No one leaves formation without permission. Our aim is peaceful contact. Avoid provoking the council guards. We go as friends, not soldiers. The ships rose from Earth. As they left the atmosphere, the blue planet curved below them. John looked out the window. He said, We carry more than supplies. We carry Earth's hope. Maria pressed her hand to the crate. She whispered, and I carry our future inside this box. Moment later, the convoy jumped to hyperspace toward the neutral station. The journey would take 3 days. They spent the time in meetings, maintenance, and training. In the mess hall, Helen taught a group of junior diplomats. She said, When we meet the station staff, speak with respect. These worlds have long memories. Earth is new to them. We must learn their customs. Remember, humility wins trust faster than power. At a small table, Ben and some pilots practiced ship maneuvers. They used holodisplays to simulate asteroid fields. Ben laughed as one trainee bumped a virtual rock. Easy now. Slow and steady. Don't rush the ship. Think ahead. In the engineering bay, Maria and her team worked on reactor calibrators. She explained wiring to a young technician. This readout shows field alignment. If it shifts, the core will drop in power. We need to keep it stable above 50% for the council to see. On the bridge of the escort vessel, John and Lisa reviewed strategy. Lisa said, if any elite members arrive early, we can meet them informally. A simple meal in the docking lounge might help. We can show our goodwill. John nodded. Yes, but let's not overschedule. We need focus on the test. The energy trial must come first. After that, we can network. Maria joined them with a nod. All systems are green. I will keep an eye on reactor status from there. 3 days passed without incident. On the final morning before arrival, Maria walked in the observation deck. She watched stars stretch into lines as hyperspace ended. The station filled the view screen, its structure clear and bright. David Owen's voice came through the com. All ships prepare for normal space approach. Maintain 100 kilometers out until clearance. Remember, no surprises. Ben guided the escort vessel along the approach corridor. Lisa and John sat beside him. John felt calm, but his mind raced. He thought of Earth below and the future ahead. At 100 kilometers, the convoy held position. The station's sensors scanned. Then, lights blinked. Maria spoke. We have clearance to dock, but we must follow protocol. Escort vessel will dock at port 7, freighters at port 8 and 9. John smiled. Perfect. Follow me. I will meet the station's portmaster. The escort vessel docked. Hatches opened. John and Lisa walked through the airlock. They greeted a station officer in gray uniform. He nodded and spoke in broken English. Welcome back, Earth Envoy. We expect final tests soon. Please, come. They passed halls of panels and living quarters. Each corridor smelled of metal and polish. Small gardens grew in glass boxes along the walls. Alien staff moved around carrying trays of food. The portmaster led them to a waiting lounge. Soft chairs sat around a low table. Beyond the windows, freighters stood poised to unload. John and Lisa sat and listened as the portmaster spoke of rules for the test zone. He said, Test must occur in the ring outside station. We will supply tracking data. If power fails, we will alert your ship immediately. You have 20 hours to complete test. After that, council session begins. Lisa asked for specifics on data links. The portmaster explained bandwidth and security codes. John confirmed supplies would unload once test was done. As they stood to leave, the portmaster said, Earth has shown skill. We hope demonstration will prove worth. Council awaits your success. John and Lisa returned to the escort vessel. Maria watched from control panel. She reported, Power core is ready. Reactor output stable at 80%. We can start test anytime. John turned to Lisa. Tonight. Let's run the test under the station lights. It will look dramatic. They will see our confidence, Lisa agreed. Yes, let's show them Earth can stand in the light of day. Later that evening, the convoy moved to the test ring. Stars shone around the station like diamonds. Maria engaged the reactor. Beams of blue light shot toward an ice chunk floating in orbit. The ice glowed and slid into new orbit as planned. Only one minor fluctuation appeared, but Maria corrected it instantly. The beam stayed smooth. Aliens on observation decks cheered softly. John and Lisa held hands and watched with pride. When the test ended, the station lights pulsed in approval. John said, We did it. Earth stands ready. Maria smiled. Peters' designs and her care had made this moment possible. Lisa added, Now we speak with the council. Our future awaits. The council chamber glowed softly as John Carter entered with Lisa Miller and Maria Diaz. The long circular room sat high above the station. Alien delegates filled seats around a ring of blue light. Each delegate watched with calm eyes. Lisa carried her folder again? She whispered to John, We must speak clearly and with confidence. Today we ask not for mercy, but for partnership. John nodded. Yes. Let us show them Earth can be strong and kind. Maria carried a small device. It linked the reactor core's data to the council's system. She set it on the table. Lights on the device blinked. The Senna in white robes stood. Once more, her voice drifted through the chamber. Delegates of the Earth Council present their final demonstration. Once more we welcome their words. John stepped forward. He spoke in clear tones. Members of the Galactic Council, thank you for granting us another chance. Earth seeks friendship and knowledge. We ask for a place among you, not as servants, but as equals and allies. The green-scaled reptilian delegate folded its claws. It hissed softly. Earth showed one test. But can you sustain power over time? A single act does not prove mastery? John responded, We prepared for this question. We will now perform a continuous power stream to your station for 24 hours. We will maintain stable output. We invite any of you to inspect our systems and see our transparency. A small murmuring spread around the room. The furred delegate blinked. You would tie your power lines to our station? What if you wish to withhold energy later? Lisa answered, we will use a link no one can control but your council. If power flows, Earth has nothing to hide. If flow stops, our pledge ends. The choice belongs to you. Maria adjusted the device. I've configured the data feed so you see real-time output. Any drop below stability triggers an alarm. You have control. Lisena nodded. She tapped a symbol on her bracelet. A hologram appeared in the center of the ring. It showed Earth's reactor core and the station's power grid. Lines of light linked them. Lights on the grid pulsed as power began to flow. The room brightened. Delegates leaned forward. John watched the readings on the HOL. Maria spoke quietly. Output stable. At 100 megawatts, adjusting for station load. Now 120, all levels green. The lights on the station walls shifted to soft green. Lisena's face glowed. Impressive. Continuous power for 1 hour confirmed. Continue. Earth delegates. Peter Diaz's voice crackled over Maria's shoulder. He tapped a command from Earth back on the convoy ship. The readings jumped smoothly through mixed loads on life support, shields, and labs. Lisa smiled. She said, we also bring a sample of Earth's emergency systems. Maria pressed a button. A second feed lit a smaller circle on the holo. It showed a backup reactor on Earth itself. If you wish, monitor our home power. We aim for no secrets. The reptilian delegate hissed. No need, your main feed holds, but we watch. We will see if you can keep this tomorrow. The Senate raised a hand. We now move to questions. She looked at each delegate. Earth is new among us. Ask what you will. The bird-like teary delegate spoke next. Its feathers shone in light. What do you seek in knowledge? Will you study our medical arts? It asked. John said, we hope to learn from all council members. We send envoys to share research. In return, we offer Earth's botany and biotechnology. Our plants can heal wounds quickly. The Lorafish delegate clicked its fins. Your ships. Enter protected waters. How do we know you respect our laws? Lisa replied, we propose a treaty of respect. We will follow council directives. We ask only for clear guidelines. We want to work together, not to break rules. A tall rock-based delegate spoke, its voice deep. Your people have fought wars. Why should we believe you changed? Maria took a breath. She said, we remember those wars well. We made a council on Earth to prevent conflict ever again. Our leaders now include those who suffered most. No nation rules another. We learn from history so we never repeat it. The Senna studied Maria. After a moment she nodded. Earth has built unity from pain. Such unity is rare. Hours passed as questions flew. John, Lisa, and Maria answered each calmly. They spoke of culture, of law, of progress. The reactor feed continued without fault. As the sun dawned on Earth, markers showed 24 hours complete. Maria pressed a final button. The holo pulsed. The Senna said, power sustained for full duration. This proves Earth's commitment and skill. Council, prepare to vote. Delegates rose from their seats. The room grew silent. They moved to vote symbols on the walls. Lights glowed one by one. Lisa held John's hand. He squeezed hers. The Senna watched until the last light turned green. She smiled faintly. Unanimous council welcomes Earth as observer member. You gain rights to speak and learn. Full membership may follow after trial period. John bowed. Tears filled his eyes. Lisa smiled. Widely, Maria let out a breath she did not know she held. The passing of judgment rang like a bell through the chamber. Outside, station horns echoed in celebration. John looked at the delegates. He said, thank you. Earth will honor this trust. We begin a new chapter for all worlds. Lisa added, we stand ready to share and to learn. Together we shape the galaxy's future. Maria nodded. She said, we build not just power but friendship. Earth is here to stay. The chamber doors opened wide. John, Lisa, and Maria stepped out into the bright corridor. Aliens of many shapes and colors cheered. They clapped and clicked and whistled and welcomed. Outside the chamber, John saw children of many worlds. They waved small flags. Earth's blue, and Green Banner flew above the rest. He raised his hand in greeting. "We are honored. Thank you all." In the crowd, Helen Carter arrived with Peter Diaz and David Owens. They embraced. David said, "You did it." "Earth is honored today," Peter smiled. "I cannot wait to tell people on Mars and Titan. Welcome, Earth." Helen looked at John. "We have much work ahead, but now we begin." John nodded and looked back at the station. He felt hope glowing inside him. Earth had formed its real council, and now the galaxy would listen. After the celebration, John Carter and Lisa Miller returned to the escort vessel. Maria Diaz and Peter Diaz waited for them with Helen Carter and David Owens. The group gathered in a small meeting room with curved windows. They watched the station glow under distant starlight. David spoke first. He said, "We have wonderful news. Earth 1 observer status. Now we begin our work. We must show value as council partners." Helen added, "We have events scheduled. Our first task is to share Earth culture. Tomorrow we host a festival in the station plaza. We will present music, art, and food. We must represent our world well." Lisa watched the holo display. It showed the plaza with 10,000 visitors. She said, "We need performers and exhibits. I will ask for volunteers from our freighters. We have musicians from New Orleans and painters from Chicago. Their work will impress." Peter leaned forward. "We should also bring scientific demonstrations. Let them see our new medicines and water purifiers. Stand by for a live demo of our hospital unit. It runs on solar power and uses biofilters." Maria tapped her tablet. "I have a prototype for a small drone that plants seeds on barren worlds. It can help terraforming. We can demo it in a controlled area. Aliens will be amazed at how fast Earth can grow life." John smiled. He said, "Yes, we must show our strengths. But we also listen to other worlds. The festival can include alien exhibits that will show we value all cultures." David nodded. "Good idea. We send invitations now. Ask the teary birds to bring their crystal music boxes. The Laura fish can show their water gardens on glass panels. This festival can be a symbol of unity." That night, the team worked late. Maria and Peter tested the drone in a hangar. They released it near a small rock garden. The drone hovered and dropped seed capsules. Within minutes, sprouts broke through the soil. They recorded data on growth speed. In another bay, engineers set up the hospital unit. They ran it on stored solar cells. The unit glowed softly as water filters hummed. Helen oversaw the process, making sure all panels showed Earth's emblem. On the lower decks, artists painted murals of Earth scenes on large panels. Musicians practiced American jazz and folk songs. Dancers rehearsed a river dance that told of human history. The next morning, the plaza filled with beings from many worlds. Colorful banners hung from walkways. Booths lined the sides, each with samples of food and crafts. Lisa stood at Earth's booth. She greeted visitors in broken languages and simple phrases. She said, "Welcome to Earth Festival. Try our food. See our art, learn our songs." Aliens tasted Earth fruit and grains. They nodded in approval. Some tried local dancers' steps. Others listened to saxophone melodies with curious heads. The planting drone flew overhead. A small patch of the plaza floor turned green with fast-growing grass. Onlookers applauded as the drone set seeds in new places. In the science area, Peter demonstrated the hospital unit. He showed how it cleans water and holds medical beds. Aliens asked questions. He answered in simple terms about filters and light panels. Maria stood by the drone site. She explained how tiny seeds could start forests. This helps worlds without soil. Earth has many ideas to share. At midday, Helen introduced Laura fish and teary bird exhibits. The plaza lights dimmed and a water panel lit up with living garden scenes. Fish swam among flowers displayed on glass. Then crystal music played as bird delegates opened their instrument. Boxes, soft tones filled the air. Crowds cheered. John stood at the edge of the crowd. He felt pride in Earth and its alliance. He watched Lisa laughing with a teary delegate. He saw Maria explaining reactor designs to young aliens. David watched from the control room. He told Helen, "This is more than a festival. It is our message. Earth stands for life, art, and friendship." Helen nodded. "We built trust today. Now, we keep building." Next week, we joined council working groups on environment and trade. After the festival, the team returned to meetings. They reviewed feedback. Many delegates praised Earth's spirit. Only a few remained cautious, Peter noted. "Some elites worry we grow too fast. They see our seed drone as a threat. We must address concerns about unchecked growth." Maria added, "I will meet with the rock delegate. I explain safety limits. Our drone stops if it detects harmful conditions. We can share the code. Transparency builds trust." Lisa planned diplomatic visits. She said, "I will host tea with the reptilian delegate. Simple talk, no demos, just friendship." John summarized, "We deliver on promises and ease fears." Earth's path now is clear. Share knowledge, respect rules, build partnerships. We keep Earth's hope alive. As they spoke, lights on the station dimmed. A call came from the Senna. John answered. Her voice said, "Earth has done well. Council invites you to join working sessions on the environment. Your seed drone is noted. We wish to learn more. Meet tomorrow in the Green Council room." John bowed. He said, "We accept." Earth is honored. As the group dispersed, John looked at the stars beyond the windows. He thought of Earth's journey, from exile to ally. He felt a calm confidence grow inside him. He wondered what future worlds would bloom from a single seed. And he knew Earth's real council had only just begun its work. The next morning, John Carter woke early in the guest quarters of the station. Pale light filtered through a small window. He stretched and looked at the new Earth Observer badge on his uniform. It was a circle of blue and green with a ring of stars. It marked Earth's place in the council. He dressed quickly and went to the meeting hall. Lisa Miller and Maria Diaz were already there. They sat at a round table with Peter Diaz, Helen Carter, and General David Owens. Maps and holoscreens glowed. Before them, David spoke first. "Today we join two working groups. Helen and Peter go to the Trade Council. John and Lisa go to Environment Council. Maria will support both. We must show our skills." He paused. "Are you ready?" Lisa smiled. "Yes. I have studied their reports. I know their concerns about resource sharing and waste management. We can help them see Earth systems." Peter tapped a holoscreen. "Trade Council worries about overfishing. Of asteroid fields, we bring Earth's fish farms as example. We can share design and bind it to their laws." Maria added, "Environment Council wants to heal polluted worlds. Our seed drones can grow plants that clean air, but we must prove it is safe. We should test a small area under guard," John said. "Then we split. Lisa and I take the environment group. Maria and Peter go to trade. Helen and David watch both. Keep lines open." They left the hall and went down a curved corridor. The station's air smelled faintly of metal and clean water. As they walked, John felt a mixture of pride and nervousness. This was Earth's first step into real council work. They reached a large door marked with a leaf symbol. Lisa scanned her badge and the door slid open. Inside, a circle of green. Glass tables surrounded a central holo-air projector. Representatives from many worlds sat around. A teary bird representative waved its wing. Its crystal feathers gleamed. "Welcome, Earth envoys. I am Tirila, chair of the Environment Working Group. We face urgent tasks. Worlds suffer from industry and war. We need solutions." John nodded. "Thank you, Tirila. Earth has ideas and experience. We can share our plant drones and clean reactors, but we also listen. We learn your needs." A deep voice spoke from a rock-like delegate. It was the stone being. "Owner, Earth seed drone intrigues us. But how do we know it won't spread beyond control? We lost the moon to fast grass once." Maria stepped forward. "We built safety locks. The drone stops planting if it senses wrong soil or lack of water. I will share the code. We invite joint control." Earth did not want to repeat mistakes. She held out a small data crystal. On R accepted the crystal. He studied it. The group watched. After a tense moment, he nodded. "We will run tests." If your tech works as you say, we may adopt it. Lisa took notes. She said, "Thank you." We also brought samples of earth fungi that break down toxins. We offer to grow them on polluted water. They clean heavy metals in days. She showed jars of glowing spores. A Laura fish delegate clicked its fins. Our water worlds struggle with metal waste from mining. We will welcome this fungus. Share your methods. Tirila smiled. Earth envoys, your gifts please the group. Now let us plan tests. We allocate a small orbital garden module. You can run drone and fungus tests under supervision. If results show safety, we scale to station sectors. John said, "We accept." We will start tests at once, and we will document steps for review. He glanced at Lisa. She recorded meeting minutes. Later, John and Lisa toured the orbital garden. Small domes held soil, water, and air. Aliens in white coats worked inside. Maria monitored drone activity on a control console. The drone flew and planted tiny fungal seeds into soil trays. The fungus glowed faintly. 5 hours later, it turned soil to a clean brown. Water samples showed no heavy metals. Alien scientists took notes and smiled. John watched with relief. Lisa touched his arm. They are impressed. This will help Earth stand out, he nodded. Yes, but we must keep working. Trust is built step by step. They left the lab and returned to the meeting hall. Meanwhile, Peter and Maria met with the Trade Council in a chamber shaped like intersecting rings. Trade delegates from merchant worlds and station supply chiefs sat around. Helen introduced them. This is Peter Diaz and Maria Diaz from Earth. They bring technology for resource farms and safe energy. A merchant delegate from the Omega Belt spoke. Your fish farms use nets and feed systems. Can they work in low gravity? Our belts have weak fields. He tapped data on a screen. Peter answered. We adapted our farms to lunar gravity. We use circular tanks with guided fields. Fish swim in 3 dimensions. We can show you plans and build a small tank here. He laid out HOLO-plans. Maria added, and our reactor cores offer power with minimal fuel. They run cold and clean. Perfect. For remote stations. We can supply cores and train your engineers, trade chiefs discussed. They tapped screens. At last, the chair spoke. We accept Earth's offers. We create a test farm in Belt 4 and a power node in Sector 9. Earth experts lead initial builds. After success, we expand. Months passed since Earth gained observer status. The station had become a second home for many humans. John Carter stood on the viewing deck, watching distant stars. He felt the weight of Earth's hopes resting on his shoulders. A soft chime sounded. Lisa Miller joined him, carrying 2 cups of warm tea. She handed one to John. Long night? She asked. He took a sip. Council sessions run late. Tomorrow we present our first joint mission, a relief convoy to a nearby planet hit by storms. Earth has food and medicine ready. We lead the mission with station aid. Lisa nodded. I spoke with the Tyrion voice. They welcome our help. They will send medical teams. Our joint effort can show council unity in action. John set his cup down. Good, we need action now, not words. Earth must prove it cares for all. Worlds. Maria Diaz entered, holding a small holodrive. Reactor retrofit is complete. Our clean power units can run the relief ships. Belt farms supply food packs. We are ready to load. Peter Diaz came next, carrying a crate of seedlings and water filters. Trade Council approved seed module for the mission planet. These plants will grow in 5 days. Water filters will clean local wells. Helen Carter and General David Owens joined the group. Helen smiled. We have council approval to start at. Dawn, recruits are ready. Earth and station crews will work side by side. David added, this mission marks Earth's first field action. We must succeed. Failure under council eyes would harm our standing. John looked at each of them. We will succeed. We plan well and care deeply. That is our strength. At dawn, the convoy stood on the launch pad. 5 relief ships bore Earth and station flags. Workers loaded supplies, food packs, medicines, power units, seed drones, and water filters. Families gathered to watch. Earth children waved from behind. Glass, they held signs that read, "Good luck, Earth Council, and help for New Magellan." Cheers rose as John and Lisa boarded the lead ship. Maria joined Peter on the engineering deck. She checked reactor gauges. He set seed drone controls. Together they prepared systems for the long trip to Magellan IV. As the ships entered hyperspace, John saw waves of hope and responsibility. He turned to Lisa. "We carry more than supplies, we carry our promise." 3 days later the convoy arrived. Near Magellan IV, the planet glowed under heavy storm clouds. Lightning flashed in the distance. Dozens of small relief stations floated in orbit. Station Commander Shira, a Teary Bird delegate, greeted them. Her feathers were damp from the storms. She said, "Thank you for coming. We have little time before storms damage ground crews. Follow me." Ships docked at floating platforms. Teams of humans and aliens unloaded supplies. Maria and Peter set up reactor units in the main platform. They connected power lines to heat lamps and medical stations. Lisa and Shira led aid teams. To shelters, they carried medicine packs and water filters. Each filter attached to a well-cleaned muddy water into clear streams. Children ran forward and drank gratefully. John oversaw seed drone tests on a small hill near the platform. He watched the drone release capsules. Gray ground turned green as sprouts broke soil. The seeds grew into small shrubs that could slow. Erosion. Storm winds picked up. Dark clouds roared. Lightning cracked. Ground crews tied down tents. The reactors hummed, keeping shelters warm. The seed plants held fast, their roots gripping the earth. As night fell, storm raged. But inside the relief station, families huddled safely. Fires warmed the halls. Food packs fed hungry mouths. Water filters kept clean streams flowing. In the control room, Maria checked reactor stability. Peter monitored drone data. Helen coordinated medical aid. David organized security patrols. John and Lisa oversaw volunteers. Shira entered the control room, her crest wet but smiling. "Your technology saves lives. Council leaders watch our feed. They see Earth's care. Thanks to you, hope lives here." John bowed. "We do this for all worlds. Earth stands with you." Storm passed by dawn. Crews emerged to find green shrubs and clear water wells. Cheers rose across the platform. Families embraced helpers. John felt tears in his eyes. The convoy left Magellan IV with empty holds. They carried data and messages of thanks. Station and Earth crews shared farewells. Shira hugged Lisa and John. She said, "You have proven Earth's value. Council meets today to discuss full membership. May your journey continue." Ships returned to the station. In the great chamber, delegates filled seats once more. The Senna in white robes addressed the council. Earth's relief mission succeeded in harsh conditions. They showed skill, care, and unity. I call for a vote on full membership. Lights on the walls glowed as delegates voted. Each light turned green. The chamber erupted in applause. Earth's flag flew higher than before. John, Lisa, Maria, Peter, Helen, and David stood together. Tears and smiles mixed on their faces. The Senna spoke. "By unanimous decision, Earth joins the Galactic Council as full member. Welcome home, Earth Council." John lifted his hand. "Thank you. Earth is proud and grateful. We will honor our new role. Together, we shape a bright future." Outside the chamber, aliens and humans cheered. Confetti drifted in airlocks. Music played across corridors. Earth's journey from exile to equal friend reached its peak. In a quiet corner, John looked at Lisa. She smiled and turned his hand. They watched the celebration. John said softly, "We did it. Earth's real council has arrived. Our world belongs among the stars."